Hello and welcome on this Thursday to what might be the last episode of season 1 of Rose Guns Days. Hello, Kat. How are you doing? Thank you for the save reminder. There's nothing to save yet, but I'll remember it for later. I hope. Now, the game has like built-in save moments, so you know. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Okay, so because this is the well, because this might be the last episode. Some like, what's the word? What's the word? What are words? I don't know. I don't know. Housekeeping? I think it's housekeeping. This is a thing that streamers say, okay? I don't know. I'm not a streamer. Uh but like just a little here's the plan, right? Here's the plan. No, it's not a it is also a reference, I guess, on accident, but not a deliberate one. Um but yeah, the plan is, right? If we finish season 1 today and there's like, I don't know, half an hour, 10 minutes left of the usual runtime, I'm just gonna end early and I will take a break for a week. So next week that would mean no stream. If we run out of story in season 1 within like half an hour, I'm just gonna continue with season 2 today. And then next week we'll just continue with season 2. So it's like if there's like a natural good moment for a break, I'm taking the break. If that moment does not happen, no break. So that's the plan. It's a little bit of housekeeping. I'll by the end of this episode, I'll know which of the two it was. So I'll a reminder then, I guess. So yeah, moving on. Because basically, if we do make it to season 2 today, I don't want to immediately run out of steam, right? I want to keep going with the flow. That's kind of the reasoning there. Yes, let's see. Let's see. We have our usual trusty old content warnings. Because keep in mind, this is a heavy game. So, content warning for violence, gun violence, racism, sexual content, including references to assault, misogyny, and alcohol abuse. I'm going in blind. I cannot give more detailed warnings than this for this particular episode. I will add additional warnings in YouTube if necessary. If there's no additional warnings in the YouTube description, then you're good. Then this is all you need to know. So keep that in mind. Take care of yourself first and foremost. Because the game deals with some heavy subjects. Okay, then, where did we leave off last time? Oh my, it was a lot last time. It was a heavy episode, to put it lightly, because Caleb's gang made their move. They stomped in. Uh, I forget exactly what they did. Or was it Rose that went to the? Okay, now I'm doubting myself. They were bad. Thank you. They were bad. They were very bad, especially Miguel, who was absolutely the worst person ever. They did break in? Okay, okay. I thought I imagined that for a second for some reason. Um but yeah, Rose got kidnapped. And then Miguel it, it did a war crime. A gang war crime in this case, I guess. And tortured her. So that was terrible. That was terrible. Which basically that left Rose quite, rattled, shaken up, traumatized even. Um, on the plus side, Leo did get her out of there and to safety, as a result of which Caleb now knows that Leo is Primavera's Leo, which he previously did not know. He still kept trying to recruit Leo, but Leo's like, no, you don't know. This is my family now. These are my people now. I'm going to stick with my people, which we love him for that. Then Amanda, who turned out to be terrible too. Big surprise, I guess. I don't know. She had a potential bad guy vibe the whole time. Not gonna lie. But her and Caleb together conspire to take over Primavera, which they do. Essentially kicking out anyone who, wants to stick with Rose, basically. Which is Meryl, Stella, some of the other girls. And because of all this, basically the whole crew is on the run. Caleb tries to go after their family, breaks into their houses, tries to go after the money, because that's ultimately what this is all about, isn't it? It's all about the money. But they don't get their hands on it. Richard still has all the money, because they had the foresight to get that the fuck out of there. So now everyone's split up. Leo and Rose are with Claudia. The money for his war buddies, yeah. Oh, one thing I forgot, because I wrote this down, right? Caleb has a little sit down with Butler and some of the higher ups in the American occupying forces. And they're basically like, yo, give us like $1 billion. It was like 1,000,000 yen or something? No, not yen. Japanese dollars. Which, based on Caleb's reaction, was an insane amount. Was it 100 million? Yeah, okay. That sounds more insane than 1,000,000. And as we discussed last time, that's probably a lot more money than it sounds like, even. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but it's probably a lot more than you might expect, given inflation, the war, all that stuff, economy stuff that we're not going to get into. But Caleb said, you know what? Yeah, I'll get you 100 million, which, I mean, I guess that means that his war buddies are gonna get a lot less money, question mark. I don't know. I don't know what his plan there is. Maybe he'll tell us. But yeah, everything went a little wild last time. And then we ended on Meryl and Stella. Wildest thing of all, they're getting along now. They actually got along. And then a car pulls up near them. Turns on its flashlight, like its headlights, blinding them. And we don't know who's in there, but it looks like they got caught by Caleb's people. And that's where we left off. So things not boding too well for them. I will say this. If they get hurt, I riot. Okay. Either of them gets hurt, I riot. Because that's not right. I'm also gonna move myself down a little bit, hold up. There we go. There we go. Much better. Hey. I didn't press the wrong button. Applause for me, please. Okay, so where we left off, we're not gonna start off with that. I think. Unsure. Guess we'll find out. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water. Yeah, this looks like it's a day later. And we'll have to sit on what happens to them for a bit. It's probably a deliberate move to raise the tension, because that's how he works, you know? Which, valid, honestly. I can't complain, but, boy, would I like to. Naturally, someone started revving a motorcycle underneath my window. That very moment. Like, literally when I was about to start. I think they're gone now, so... Okay, you can't? That's perfect. I have a really, really aggressive noise gate for this reason, and because my keyboard is super loud. And, it paid off, apparently. Nobody's mentioned any of the clicky clacks, nor people yelling outside or anything like that, since I've put it into the noise gate. Worth it, 100%. Okay, let's go. Since the early morning, it had been an overcast, sullen day, raining on and off. Despite this, a pulsating crowd of more than 1,000 men had gathered in a park close to the harbor. Basically, yeah, I'm extremely close to the microphone, and that's because otherwise it barely picks up my voice, because my voice is just like, I have no volume in general. I was born without, and that's not true. I used to be a really loud kid, and I got told to shut up a few times too many, and then I was a really quiet kid. And now I can't raise my voice. I'm physically incapable of yelling. So I'm just really close to the mic at all times. But hey, it works. But yeah, also, the mic itself is like, if you're relatively far away, like the noise drop-off is huge. Like if I'm a little too far away from the mic, the volume just halves. So I might need an upgrade soon. Alright, back to the 1,000 men in the park. What are all these people doing here so early in the morning? Didn't you hear? That Caleb guy is giving out food to us poor people. Caleb? Aren't you supposed to be, like, gathering $100 million? He's Al Capone. I guess so. Rumor has it that it's not just food, that he's going to be handing out money. Which he promised to other people, so that's... Where's he getting all this money from, man? Father Caleb is a savior to us poor folk. Well, I won't let him trick me. Do you realize how many stores have gone under thanks to him? Someone's handing out money and food. I don't care if he's from hell or the mafia. What do you think you're doing? Don't come to the front. I'll kill you. Come on. How long until it starts? We're starving here. We've given up on waiting for trucks at the employment agency just so we could come here. A crowd of men in cheap clothing formed a massive line, waiting for food to be rationed out. Eventually, the rationing began, and the line slowly moved forward. What they got in their bowls was so jumbled and indistinguishable that it was literally dog food. Still, just the fact that it was warm food for free gave it a favorable reception. That's fair. The men who got their bowls formed a crowd to the side of the distribution tent. Listen up, men. Here's your chance to get rich quick. What? Find those who oppose Father Caleb and grab yourself a reward. Rose Highborn, the former madam of Club Primavera. Whoever catches her gets a $100,000 reward. There's also a cash reward for information on where she's hiding. Are they like preemptively spending Primavera's safe money? Cause maybe he's richer than we thought. 100,000. 100,000 just for catching that girl? Richard Myogi from the Myogi offices. Another 100,000 bounty for him. Didn't some of them just like walk out of there? What's the point? You're right, why would they recapture her? She's basically harmless now. Well, okay, no, here's why. Okay, they took the money. They had the Primavera's money. And that's what they were after the whole time, so that's why they're after them, I bet. That's my, I'm bad at words today. Prediction. Insane. If you caught both of them, that'd be 200,000. Chatter, chatter, chatter. Chatter, chatter, chatter. Several men started shoveling down their food, their eyes glittering. Caleb and some others watched this from a large luxury car parked on the edge of a... Bud! This man's sitting in a luxury car, dressed in a boy king outfit, and still thinks that he has, like, the public's best, like, that he's doing the best thing he can for his war buddies. Look at him! Oh, he's the hero of the poor folk. Look at him! Does this look like a hero of the poor folk to you? Maybe in his old outfit, sure. How could we have missed this? So, this is how we might solve our troubles. Putting bounties on people. Ha! It's almost like we're the bad guys in the story. Caleb, if you sound like a bad guy in a story, you might just be the bad guy. Just consider that, maybe. It's just... He literally went from, like... over the course of maybe 2 episodes, from, like, me going, oh yeah, man has a point, to... he's cartoonishly evil. It's still baffling.
These people aren't all Japanese. There are also a few poor Chinese laborers. So, those people will be found even if they try to escape to Chinatown.
And it's also possible that some people who don't accept Amanda as Madam will drag Rose out of the shadows for us.
Please don't misunderestimate me.
Primavera is completely under my control. Girl, multiple people walked out, you know this.
I won't let anyone disobey. You gave them the option to walk away.
Yeah, he went from relatable and like, I get where this guy is coming from to, look at these weirdos. Still, such a shame that the safe was empty. It seems I underestimated this, Richard. I can't get over these 3.
It'll be my job to fill that safe up again. Just you wait and see.
I look forward to it. Squeeze those rich people good for the sake of our fellow countrymen. Yeah, who you're feeding slop to right now. And you're using them as tools also. Like... what? Imagine what you could buy with that 200,000 and like do for your war buddies with that. Hey... I'm disappointed.
Caleb, if it's money you want, I'd like you to help out a bit with my business. First off, stop letting those toughs from your family into the club. Their attitudes are bad, and they make passes at the girls. For them, it's all in the house and we don't get a dime. You gotta give them a break there. After all, good drink is a man's oasis.
Exactly. I've ordered them to not let it get out of hand. However, Primavera is my club. What's wrong with my underlings having a drink at my club? Right, Miguel?
Yes, that's right. You know what's going on, Caleb.
they like flirting right in front of her? Miguel, more importantly, you've got to round up the girls who have left Primavera and are getting customers on street corners. Teach them that no one can practice their trade in City 23 unless they accept Amanda as their madam. Then why did they get the chance to walk out in the first place?
Of course. Just the other day I found a cheeky girl and ripped her up a bit. At least don't touch their faces. Those are a commodity.
Okay, I know I've been pausing a lot, but Amanda, what the fuck?
Ah yes, I will sign a deal with Satan, and then tell them not to do satanic things. Yes, sounds like a wonderful plan.
Hey, and right, like surely the whole, like, oh my god. Also, like, surely their brains are a commodity. You don't want to fucking traumatized by fucking Miguel, who deserves to be eaten by 10 iguanas, let's not forget. God, these... Okay, no, they're cartoonishly evil. Cartoonishly evil, that's kind of the point. Okay. You can't manage to bring him back alive, we don't care if you kill them. If you do catch him alive, you'll get a bonus. If you don't think you can manage it yourself, just report about it to us. You'll still get money out of the deal. Chatter, chatter, mutter. Chatter, chatter, chatter. Oh yeah, I forgot in my recap. Wayne did not take it well, the whole everything, and ran away. And that was before everything fully went to hell. So, yeah. Rosa. No. Way. I'm sorry. I saw the next line, and after leaving Primavera, Wayne had gone back to his rat lifestyle, with Allie as his nest. The sense of helplessness he'd felt at being unable to protect someone he had sworn to protect forever, even at the cost of his life, still tormented him. He knew that Rose and the others were facing unprecedented danger at this very moment. However, what could a powerless person like him protect? And how was he supposed to face them? There was no answer. Nothing would grow except his own anger and contempt, his powerlessness. Oh. Well, I feel a little sad now. Chinatown's southern end. Chinatown and the surrounding area aren't marked off with a fence. This mixed area has the dangerous potential of stirring up trouble. The northern part of City 23 was given the name Small Rock District after the war. But these days, you wouldn't see that name anywhere except street signs. The people of the city called this area Chinatown. City 22, which lay to the north, was under the control of the Chinese army, and all of it had already become a Chinatown. A bump of that pushed down to the south, making the northern part of City 23 a Chinatown too. This small rock Chinatown appeared to be under the control of no family. However, everyone knew Li Meiju was the de facto boss and an important member of the Golden Dragon Society, the largest family in City 22. So, to avoid stirring up trouble with the Golden Dragon Society, the families of City 23 avoided Chinatown as a general rule. However, there was no clear dividing line between what was inside and outside Chinatown. In the brackish area where Japanese and Chinese people were split, there would sometimes be turf conflicts between the Chinese mafia and the Japanese mafia. Underlings from the Caleb family were standing around here and there on the streets that passed through Chinatown.
You got that? Keep your eyes wide open.
Those Primavera people had contacted Chinatown. This is the only way they can get in.
Hey, stop your truck right there. Open up the back.
Stop it. I'm not a suspicious person. Violence is bad.
Just open it up. You aren't hiding anyone inside, are ya?
Stop trying to pretend you don't understand Japanese. Open up the truck. Hey! No violence! China and Japan, good friends.
Every time a truck passed that looked like it could hide a person, they would violently stop it and force the driver to open it up. Most of the people driving cars into Chinatown were Chinese, but they didn't let that stop them. Nothing but pork. You sure took up our time, old man. You can go now.
Hey, Aniki.
Oh. Before they realized it, they were surrounded by Chinese people wearing sunglasses. Of course, these weren't good, ordinary citizens. It's the Golden Dragon Society. Are you with Caleb-san? That's right. We're from the Caleb family. This place is not Caleb-san's city. It ain't
Hold up. Wrong goon. It ain't the Golden Dragon Society's turf either. Since when was this your turf? Well,
your actions are troubling many Chinese people.
Sorry about that.
We're looking for someone. If you get in our way, you won't get off easy. Some are saying that they were dragged from their vehicles and beaten. That's because they tried to ignore us and make a run for it. Both our boss and Caleb-san do not want to fight. We want you to go home for the day. You are bothering everyone.
Hey. I'm assuming that says ha 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 ha.
Yeah, right.
What do you think you're laughing at? Get out of here, Chinese trash.
Hey, you looking for a fight, China? Jesus Christ. Fine, let's have a go. The instant one of them made a grab for a Chinese person's collar, all the Chinese people pulled out their guns. A moment later, the Japanese people pulled their guns out too, and each side was pointing their barrels at each other's noses. The townspeople realized what was going on, and they screamed, ran away, ducked to the ground. We don't desire a fight with Caleb-san. Well, we're not too particular on that point.
City 23 belongs to us. Get back to your City 22.
Tell your boss. Don't think you can keep sticking your necks into City 23. But like, they live here? Alright. Club Primavera. Since Amanda became Madam, Primavera changed drastically. The ladies of the evening were forced to hold back their objections and bear these changes. Hey, girlie, get over here and give us a drink. Hey, stop that. You're hurting me. You're no fun, girlie. Isn't it your job to pour drinks for your customers? A customer is someone who pays for what they get. You people don't pay anything, do you? On the contrary, your lawlessness has driven all the real customers away. You're parasites to this club. Do you really want to call yourselves bodyguards and protect this club? Start by doing something about it yourselves. Start by doing something about yourselves. Of course, her emotions hadn't exploded out of the blue.
All she had done was bravely speak for what all the girls thought about the arrogance these men had shown until now. What's that? You better watch your mouth. This club belongs to the Caleb family. We aren't customers. We're the owners. Let's teach you what happens if you talk like that to the owners. Aniki, customers will see if you do it here, right? Employee training had better be done somewhere that it doesn't disturb the customers. True. Let's give her a good long lesson in the VIP room. Get over here, woman. Time for some special training from your owners. Jesus. Yup. Let go. Someone help me. Amanda? Where you at? Do something? Maybe? The woman, who had been hit and whose nose was bleeding, disappeared into the depths of the club, dragged by the men by her hair. The other women were unable to do more than bite their lower lip in fear for what might happen to them tomorrow. Anyone would want to quit working at a place like this. However, there was nowhere else to work. On top of that, the streets were even more dangerous than Primavera these days. Ever since Amanda became the new madam, the atmosphere in the club had undergone a complete change. It wasn't just Club Primavera. It was all of the clubs associated with Primavera. Caleb family thugs calling themselves bodyguards would mix in with the customers and act with complete and utter arrogance. No customer would willingly come to a club like that. The regular customers who had supported the club vanished one after another. By now, the club was only ever filled with punks and the women who lived their lives in fear. Claudia, no. Don't. What are you doing here? You're gonna be in danger. Claudia, it's been so long. How is it? How are things going in the club? Just look, it's terrible. We can't go on like this. I'm jealous of you, Claudia. Primavera's finished. Even my store has had to pay a lot of protection money to the family. It isn't easy. Thanks to them, our customers have stopped coming. Of course they have. Most of our customers have gotten entangled with the Caleb family and had all their money taken away. Even if they hadn't, who would want to come to such a terrible club? I don't want to work in a place like this anymore. And even if we leave the club after all this time, we can't make a living. I beg you, Claudia, give me a job. I can at least skin potatoes. Please, Claudia. Claudia would love to have employed them if she could. However, her store was also barely getting by, thanks to the protection money demanded by the family. Won't Amanda's son do anything about it? She doesn't even show herself around here. Rumor has it that she's splitting the sales of this club with Caleb. Anyway, it's just terrible. There's no one left to protect us. And if we do quit working here, they say that hitman named Miguel will come for us. I heard all about that. Do you remember Hannah? That kid who was really good at the piano? I remember her. How is she doing now? Right after she quit, she was slashed up with a knife in some back alley. Now everyone's too scared to even to quit our jobs. However, that doesn't mean it's safe inside the clubs. In one of the other clubs, there was a girl who was hit by one of them and had her jaw broken. I heard it was some stupid girl who provoked them. Even so, that's just too gruesome. Hey, Claudia, how is Madame Rose doing? How are Stella and Rose doing?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I only came to get something I lent to Rose. Hey, Claudia. If you do see Rose, please tell her. Tell her that she's the only madam for us. This isn't just from us. That's what all the girls who were part of Primavera feel. Claudia's reason for coming had been to see how things were going at Primavera. And when she saw what was actually happening in the club, she knew for certain that what the others were saying was true. The high-class charm of Club Primavera was completely gone. Scruffy-looking people got drunk and laughed crudely. The occupying forces, American soldiers who should have stopped this, were nowhere to be seen. Even the regulars who loved this club had faded away, leaving the club in a terrible state. Ironically, even a club in this state was far safer than being outside. The women had suffered a huge deduction in their wages. They wanted to quit working in a place like this, but if they did, they wouldn't be able to eat. It was as filled with despair as an inescapable blind alley. Some of the people reading this tale must have had a certain thought when Rose refused to serve Caleb that day. The calm and composed Richard was right. The emotional Rose was wrong. True enough, at least when it came to being calm and composed, Richard was in the right. At first, Richard's plan to pretend to be obedient while working to improve our situation bit by bit may have seemed like the best option. However, I would like the readers to consider this the most important founding principle of Primavera. Primavera was formed to offer ladies of the evening a safe working environment. To deny that was to deny Primavera's very reason for existence. Richard's choice was the best solution from a man's perspective, from an accounting standpoint, but it completely ignored the women who worked in this world of the night. True enough, whether they chose to surrender or refuse, this same day would eventually come to pass. However, there would be one huge difference. That difference was whether the ladies of the evening would lose hope in Primavera or not. If Madame Rose had chosen surrender, all of the women would have lost hope in Primavera, and the alliance would crumble in an instant. And if it crumbled, would they search for customers on the streets? On the dangerous streets where Miguel and his gang wandered, hunting ladies of the evening? The club was in a terrible state, but it was still 100 times safer than the streets. It was far less than before, but in this era of extremely scarce employment, there was still a place for a woman to earn better pay in a better workplace. In other words, Rose's choice was more correct than Richard's. The regrettable thing was Primavera's powerlessness and inability to execute that better choice. Claudia couldn't help but let her mind race. She thought about the manner in which Rose had been forced to make such a painful choice. Oh, this is a new area. I hear lots of bugs, that's nice. The jungle. Some kind of forest at least. Death on the battlefield is what a soldier desires. After all, we're trying to kill people. How could we complain if we're killed? Obviously, getting killed by a gun would fulfill our desire, but so would being killed by a shovel in a beach battle. Because we'll both get to die as warriors at equal range. However, that is the one thing I don't want to die by. I don't want to be killed by a trench mortar. Oh jeez, it scared me.
And writing down a content warning. Loud noises. A mortar is a very rough sort of weapon. You point it towards the enemy without aiming at anything in particular, and then fire like mad with it. Boom, boom. After all, your target is a couple kilometers away. You can attack safely, out of range of the enemy camp. And on top of that, it's incredibly easy to fire off. You just pop a shell down a tube and boop. You get to hit the enemy camp with a rain of several dozen bombs in a few minutes. Boop. To the person shooting, it's almost funny. But to the person getting shot at, it's ooh. Even though getting hit with an explosive projectile will turn you into a pile of flesh, the person shooting at you isn't even looking your way. Even when criminals are executed by shooting, their executioners look at them through their gun sights, right? Who could possibly be able to rest in peace? They were killed in this rain of random explosions. It hurts. It hurts. I ran out of medical supplies long ago. There's nothing I can do. There's no way I will be saved. So, please, kill me. Oh. Damn it. Damn it. I don't hate our enemies. We've both been ordered by our countries to kill each other. That wasn't what was tearing me up. In this thick, distant jungle, they are in the jungle, where they took us, telling us that it was for the sake of our country. Just who from our country is going to care for these moaning people who fail to die after having legs and arms blown off? Do they realize what sort of cruel banners were waiting for us when we came home? Calling us baby killers, mass murderers of civilians, war criminals. Hang in there, men. Don't lose hope because of something like this. Don't you want to make it back to Japan? When we get back, we'll have everything we want. Food, sake, our choice of beautiful girls. I want to drink enough sake to take a shower and I want to eat manju, to eat steamed potatoes until my stomach bursts. Damn it. I don't want to die even though I've never been with a woman. Perfect. I'll make all of that come true. Food and drink and women. Okay. When we make it back to Japan alive, I'll let you eat and drink enough to shower in. We'll have our revenge against those who sent us here, while they sat around in comfort. I think I mentioned this before, but it's wild to me that he thinks that everyone back at home is, like, comfortable right now. Wild. Not that these guys haven't suffered, obviously they have. But just, yeah, they're definitely chilling, having just the best time. Yeah. I'll take back everything that was stolen from us. So, men, don't you go dying on me. Don't let the loss of one or two limbs stop you. The wounded soldiers broke down sobbing at Keireiji's words and stretched out their arms. The crowd of wounded soldiers stretched out their blood-stained arms and clung to Keireiji. Keireiji held all of those arms, lifting a tearful roar to the rainy heavens. Hang in there. You were moaning in your sleep. And did you have a nightmare? Thank you for the save reminder. Yeah. Oh, hey babe. How are you doing? Sorry, I didn't notice it was you who sent the reminder. Hope you're doing good. Oh my god, my voice. I hope you're doing good. There you go. You were being sneaky. But you tried to sneak into my house, and I see everything that goes on in here, so, you know. Good try, though. It's not a nightmare. It was a dream of an oath, one that I can't forget until my war is over. I'll bring you some water. Caleb let out a huge sigh, then looked at the clock next to the bed. It was still too early for dawn. Another dream about the battlefront. I'm grateful for them. They never cease to appear in my dreams, reminding me of my mission. Caleb, that's trauma? Oh. I mean, good for you, I guess, but I don't think that's healthy. I understand that they're only ghosts. Nothing I do now can ease their pain. Poor thing. Poor thing? Me. Yes, that's right. You poor thing. Amanda gently held Caleb's head as he sat on the bed. Even though the war is supposedly over, the war inside you still hasn't ended. How can you be saved? I'll have to end my war. What I'm doing now is for that war. Yeah, to make it worse, you goof. This time, it's a war with money packed into our shells instead of gunpowder. I need money. I need money. I have to save them as soon as possible, no matter how much I have to dirty my hands. Caleb. You know what? That was almost cute. If you kind of ignore how bad their approaches to all of this are. Almost cute. That summer vacation CPU broke on the first day? Oh no. Just in time for Final Fantasy 15 though, right? Right? That sucks though. High-class sightseeing hotel. The Caleb family uses high-class hotels all over the city as their hideouts. These hotels are forced to lend them suites as part of their protection fee. Ugh. I must kill everyone by stealing their livelihoods and earning potential to save my war buddies. Yeah. You had to go outside instead of gaming? Oh no, I hope you had a good vacation, despite the CPU. And how are you enjoying Final Fantasy? And yeah, his plan is so wild because it's like, I need money, I need money. Meanwhile, he's spending absolutely ludicrous amounts of money on absolute bullshit. Good movie. Yeah, I get that. I guess gameplay-wise, it's super different, huh? Okay, let's go check out the sightseeing hotel. What's a sightseeing hotel? Does that mean it's just like, is that just like tourist hotel? Aren't most hotels for tourism purposes? You know what? I'll just roll with it. The entire suite floor of the hotel was owned by the Caleb family. We're seeing the walls. I mean, there's enough to see on the walls. So they're very shiny for starters. It was given to them without compensation, as part of the massive amount of protection money the hotel paid to the family. They're just bleeding everyone dry and then calling themselves heroes for it. It's wild. Every part of this floor, from the space in front of the elevators to the hallways to the entrances of all the rooms, was filled with shady-looking men holding guns under their coats. The elevator chimed as it arrived, and the door opened. It was Miguel and some men holding a heavy-looking attaché case. They quickly headed to a room. In the room, several bosses were gathered. The contents of some attaché cases were piled up on the table.
Yeah, look at all that money.
That's 3,000 stacks of $100 bills. There's a sight to see. Miguel, even I know how much money that is.
How much money is that?
30 million. You could have as much fun as you like with that money and never run out.
James's family should bring in another 10 million soon. I brought everything from the Harbor Union's safe. It should be 10 million with some change.
One after another, attaché cases filled with money were placed on the table and their contents were laid out. I guess that's how Caleb is just doing all this wild stuff, right? Spending tons of money. He has tons of money. Because again, he's bleeding everyone dry. There were some stacks of new $1,000 bills and some messy stacks of crumpled $100 bills tied together. Yeah, that's also a good point, because surely that's... Okay, now I'm doubting my own math skills. Maybe they... You know what, I glossed over it, but yeah. Okay, so I'm really dumb at math, right? So when that guy was like, oh, it's 30 million, I was like, yeah, I guess I was wrong. I didn't want to mention it because I was embarrassed. But I was right. Because yeah, that is not how numbers work. What the fuck? I guess the other guy also didn't know, and that was the joke. Stay in school, kids. What am I talking? I did finish school, I did. I just didn't finish math. Okay. 'Cause again, I was bad. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, that would absolutely not... If they had... Because then he would have had 50 mil already, right? Which is like halfway there. But yeah, they're not to that point yet, I don't think. Maybe they are. As the uneven mountain of mismatched bills grew, it told the story of how they had scraped up all the paper money from across the city. And they're still patting themselves on the back thinking they're the good guys. Oh yeah, we own all the money in the city now. Okay, how are the people in the city gonna live?
They're not. Tee.
It's for our war buddies, it's fine.
How much have we gathered total? Is it more than 100 million?
I don't know if I would trust these guys in their math, Miguel, but I don't think you would know if it was wrong either. 60 million. No, it might be up to 70 million. We're having it counted now. No matter what, it'll be a sum large enough to make your eyes bulge. Yahoo! We're the kings of City 23! And you're gonna give all of that to the American occupying forces. Keep that in mind. You're not kings of shit. That's not even close to enough.
What Caleb needs is 100 million. You're still 30 million short, aren't you? Where are you going to squeeze the rest out of?
Hey, Miguel-san, it's impossible getting any more than this.
Impossible.
We had to push the line just to get this much money. Any more would be impossible. To take any more would really be squeezing the blood out of them.
Well, why not squeeze them?
In the first place, 100 million is just a crazy amount. I agree. It wasn't a sum we could have gathered in the first place. They were obviously mocking us by asking for the impossible.
True. Smart. Correct. Who cares? If we actually do get 100 million, they won't be able to refuse, yes?
Miguel-san, we can't. It's impossible.
Isn't it our job to do the impossible?
We've already done the impossible to get 70 million. We need to take a look at reality. This pile here is our limit. Do you realize how many stores have gone under? How many people have hung themselves to get us this much? To be honest, we've probably gone too far, haven't we?
The introspection on this guy. Can we get more of this guy, please? Holy shit. All these goons, right? This whole series. They're all just like one-note clowns, right? Because they're goons, of course they are. And then this guy shows up. What a legend. It would have been smart to say this a lot earlier, you're right. However, yeah. I'm just relieved that someone's finally talking sense.
We've been so hungry for meat, we've killed off all the cows and chickens. We've let them live. We might have been able to take their milk and eggs, and yet we crushed them all and turned them into meat. Miguel-san, that's what we've done to barely gather 70 million. The city's already been squeezed dry. People have gathered their family assets and left the city, if they had enough money to move in the first place. In the end, we're parasites. If the human we're infesting dies, we can't go on living ourselves.
Damn. I just want to put a little sticker on his forehead that says #1 goon. Best goon. It's hard to tell if this all came from one guy, but they can share the title. They're goons anyway. So, what is it you want to do?
We've been thinking. This is the perfect time.
The perfect time for what?
City 23 is done for. There's no more business to be done here.
They literally just destroyed a whole city so this one guy could get money for his war buddies, who now no longer can get jobs because they've destroyed all the businesses they could get jobs from. Time to steal from the Chinese? You're right. Yeah, see? You were right.
Chinatown will swallow it up and that will be the end. We should move our business elsewhere too.
Does that mean you're surrendering?
I'd rather call it a shift in position. With this much money, we could seek our fortune anywhere. No, on the contrary, we could even live in luxury for the rest of our lives.
Okay, this goon gets a downgrade. The other two are still good.
Maybe. City 23 is done for. We'll start to see signs of us going too far.
It won't be long before we're stuck in a fight with the occupying forces. It's time to abandon the city.
Change of plans is a wise move. If you want to call that surrendering, that's fine with me. Oh. Oh.
Miguel's knife was suddenly sticking out of the man's forehead. After a brief pause, a cross of blood bubbled out. It was a horrifyingly quick job.
If you're going to use the word surrender, then you can hardly complain if you're killed, right?
Best goon number 2, we hardly knew ye. Second best goon. Sorry.
I'll forgive you just this once, but don't do that again, okay?
We understand.
Okay, 30 million left. Let's give it our all. No options off the table. This is a battlefield. If the Japanese are all dried out, then squeeze some Americans or Chinese. The occupying forces are scared of a fight with us, so you know they won't get involved.
Wow, he really went from like murder to gay child in 0.1 second, huh? Occupying Forces Headquarters. It's said they don't care about public order, but that's ridiculous. They always do their best to protect city dwellers with the right to vote in presidential elections. Oh my god. Accurate. Alrighty, see you in a bit. It's Butler. I'm coming in. Have a seat, Captain. There have been several recent cases of good American civilians receiving illegal threats from gangster groups. It's a situation we can't overlook. Have you read this? Certainly. I imagine it's the work of the Caleb family. Caleb, when given the impossible task of gathering $100 million, Japanese dollars, by the way, not American ones, had acted in the most overbearing manner possible. And now, he had stopped limiting his targets to Japanese people, and was finally beginning to go after the Americans. If American civilians were being harmed, even the occupying forces couldn't stay silent. The Caleb family must have understood that. However, to scrape together that unreasonable sum of 100 million Japanese dollars, they had finally been forced to act without regards to appearance. This wasn't an unforeseeable result of demanding 100 million Japanese dollars, which is unreasonable. I thought a man capable of negotiating with us could surely manage a sum such as that. I wonder. To me, it certainly seems to be a sum matching the situation we've seen here. We did ask for 100 million Japanese dollars. However, we didn't ask for 100 million blood-stained and crumpled Japanese dollars. I bet you did, though, because you knew it was impossible. We asked for neatly obtained brand new money fitting for us to receive, without any thought to the consequences. And that's what Caleb doesn't understand. Okay, but like, you literally asked for this, though. You mean money that could be gathered without troubling any American civilians? Correct. I don't care how much they have to squeeze from the Japanese to get it. However, if they're going to do harm to American civilians, our justice will not ignore their lawlessness. Are you telling me to bring Caleb in? According to your report, that would not be a good option. He is an extremely untouchable man. He really is like a bomb that might go off any moment. He'll only explode once. However, if we're clumsy about it, both sides will be torn to bits.
The big American-Chinese occupying forces high command conference is drawing near. We don't want a disturbance at this time in a city under American Army jurisdiction. On the other hand, if we let that man run wild, he could explode at any time. Don't you think it's possible we're the ones who lit the fuse? Watch your tongue, Captain. We are civilized men. We're willing to come to the table if someone wants a deal, be they barbarians or citizens of a defeated country. At least, until, as a result of that meeting, we realize that they aren't someone worth bringing to the table a second time. Well, it looks like that one-time fling of ours is going to cost us. I'll pretend I didn't hear that. We cannot overlook the possibility that Caleb will bring further harm to American civilians. However, we want to avoid an all-out war with him if at all possible. I understand. Sorting out troubles like that are my specialty, Director General. I mean, cough. Everyone, forgive me, but I'll ask that you leave your seats. I would like to speak with the captain alone. When the Director General of City 23's occupying forces coughed, the officers who served as his secretaries rose from their seats. Philip Butler had been given the rank of captain, but it certainly hadn't been in the hopes that he would perform brave feats on the battlefield. Butler's true talent, was what the Japanese call newaza, dealing with things behind the scenes. Just as he had done with the case of Lieutenant Peter McDowell's disappearance, he would stealthily resolve issues that couldn't be made public, without anyone suspecting that he was involved. When the high-ranking officers whispered about him, he was sometimes referred to as the ninja because, of course. Because of course. Because of course. Small Rock Chinatown is an advanced base jutting out from City 22. Lee Meiju, who has been entrusted with it, has been given extremely broad authority. I wonder what that means. I guess we'll find out. Hello. Greetings, Caleb-san. It has been too long. This is Lee Meiju.
Oh, it's you. You're calling to apologize, right? I heard how you've been taking care of some of our young men. Is it a fight you want?
That is my line. You have beaten up several of our young men, haven't you? The Caleb family underlings, in their fervor to gain credit for catching Rose and her allies, have been conducting fake inspections near Chinatown. However, they had gone overboard and gotten into a scuffle with a group of young members of the Golden Dragon Society. Back during the time of the many rival underground warlords, fighting with Chinatown and its powerful foothold had been taboo. You missed Butler talking to the Americans and being kind of a badass and really snarky. Basically, he's gonna do some behind-the-scenes stuff, and which is mostly a secret from the occupying forces, except for the higher-up officers who, as a result of him doing sneaky shit to resolve issues without anyone knowing, call him the ninja, because of course they do. Of course they do. And that's it, that's all you missed. And now we're talking... Well, now we're looking at Meiju and Caleb having a phone call. However, the issue of turf lines had been smoldering for a long time, and the consolidation of Japanese power had suddenly sparked up that old conflict. The best way to stop a territory war from getting out of hand was to focus the enemy's attention inward. Make sure the enemy is always divided, in conflict, and facing inward. Making sure that that happens is the most important factor. Oh boy. The Japanese were pigs on their own, but if they grouped together, they could sometimes become dragons. They could never allow the Japanese to unite. The words of the young lord who had unified all of the Golden Dragon Society in his youth echoed through Meiju's mind. At first, the goal of their plan had been to slightly weaken the Alpha family, which had gotten too big. However, Leo Shishigami meeting up with Caleb and joining forces with the Caleb family had been completely outside their calculations. The Alfred family was crushed in the span of a night, and the balance of power in City 23 was destroyed. In the end, it had given birth to the dragon, called Caleb. That's not my problem. Don't you get the wrong idea, Meiju. City 23 is mine. Sorry, there was another motorcycle. You mean all of City 23 except Chinatown? That's the important part. What did you say? Fine. You want to pick a fight with me? Caleb-san, please calm down. I hear that you are going through a very troubling time. I have heard that you are gathering lots and lots of money, rushing to save your countrymen. Where did you hear that from? This is why you can't trust the Chinese. What you are doing is admirable. It is truly admirable to collect money for the sake of your countrymen. But by stealing from your countrymen. However, the amount of money you need is very, very large. It is quite extraordinary. What are you trying to say? Get back to the point. Not everyone living in City 23 is Japanese. We Chinese live here as well. We are fellow residents of this city. It is only natural that we help one another. As for that money you are giving to the occupying forces, would it be possible for me to have a piece of that deal? What? Just as you want to save your Japanese countrymen, I would like to save my Chinese countrymen. To do that, it is very important that I have a share of that special offers counter for occupying forces business projects. Americans and the Chinese don't get along. You're trying to use me as a conduit to dig into their game, aren't you? Nothing of the sort. I have no such intentions. Like would let you get involved and make things more complicated. I've got no interest in your offer. I'm hanging up. So long. Wait, Caleb. The tone of Meiju's voice lowered slightly and it grew colder. Do you still not understand why Japan lost the war? What? It is because you tried to fight a war against China and America, both to the east and to the west. As they say, he who runs after two hares will catch neither. Caleb, I do not think that increasing the number of your enemies is the best strategy. And what about you? Are you okay with having me as your enemy? I believe the Golden Dragon Society higher-ups want to avoid a war with me. City 22 has enemies aplenty too, don't they? You may have been ordered to play nice with me, but I don't think you've been ordered to pick a fight with me. Wait, did I read that correctly? Yes. Even if you fight a war with me, the Golden Dragon Society will just send me your head as a gift to try and bargain with me. The Caleb family, with its tremendous momentum, had led Meiju to change his plan. If he couldn't prevent the unification of Japanese forces in City 23, he could try to get a piece of the action. He had obtained information saying that Caleb was having trouble squeezing out the ridiculous sum of 100 million Japanese dollars. He had wanted to offer his assistance to take a bite of the Caleb's family's pie, but
Are you certain that there is no chance of us becoming friends? If we join forces, procuring 100 million will no longer be undoable. And that is not all. If our two families form an alliance, the range of our businesses will be expanded. You will be able to gain more profit. Tell me what you have to gain by passing up on all of that.
This is Japan, a country for the Japanese. We'll leave you alone as long as you stay good and quiet. However, if you start swaggering about and acting like you own the place, we won't show you any mercy. Stay quiet and out of the way. Don't try to fool around with secret maneuvers again. Got that? That's all I have to say.
Clank. He hung the phone up without waiting for a reply. Andrew shrugged, set the receiver down, then put his feet up on the table and looked at the ceiling. A carp must climb a waterfall and be acknowledged by the heavens before becoming a dragon. You poor carp who failed at becoming a dragon. Meiju flipped a nut with his thumb and sent it flying high towards the ceiling. It succumbed to gravity and fell straight into the mouth of the iguana on his shoulder. Iguanas eat nuts? Okay. Huh. Did not know that. I'm genuinely not sure I'll finish this episode today. But I'm still pretty sure that they eat bugs. But I don't know, maybe they're like omnivores. I'm not super familiar with them still. I also forgot to look that up. Could have looked it up, but didn't. Leo, while taking care to hide his identity, made a point of going outside when he could. Of course, his goal was to find information. The Caleb family's movements. The movements of Richard and Cyrus, who had escaped. They couldn't put Claudia at risk forever. It was essential to actively gather information so that they could decide what they should do next. And the marketplace has changed. Once, when Alfred kidnapped Claudia, he had gone into a building in this area. Back then, the marketplace was overflowing with people coming and going. It isn't because of the rain. The crowds really have thinned. This place used to be a free marketplace, where not just business people, but ordinary citizens had premises. As long as you paid a fee to the marketplace manager, anyone could easily open a shop here. There had been families that needed money fast and were forced to sell their belongings. Also, people had come here from the countryside with rice bags on their backs, hoping to get rich quick. Flies don't look to be very nutritious. It's probably true, but, for humans, it's probably different for iguanas. The place was once filled with a chaotic vigor, and a mix of the good and the bad. But now, the number of people had noticeably fallen. The boss of this marketplace was also under the Caleb family's umbrella. And because of the large amount of protection money they were forced to pay, the fee for opening a shop had risen dramatically. As a result, the city residents were no longer able to open shops easily, and were forced to leave the marketplace. On top of that, if they tried to open up shop anywhere else, thugs would suddenly show up and demand outrageous amounts of protection money. People, things, and money. Everything was swallowed up by darkness, vanishing from the world of the day. Caleb, is this what your war is about? You've forgotten who we went to war to protect. Hey, hold up there. Leo thought he had crossed gazes with a man passing by. That man had looked like Wade.
hold on, Wayne. Wayne didn't stop. He started running like he was trying to escape. Leo chased after him. Then, he ran into a dirty alley with trash scattered about, and pathetically slipped on some garbage and fell. Oh, Wayne. You okay? Where have you been, Wayne? We've been looking for you. I'm not Wayne. I'm just a rat. Oh, okay, I actually feel bad for him now. Wayne didn't even stand up, but just pounded his fist in a puddle and yelled. Rose is safe. I think the others are safe too, but I can't get in touch with them. I see. Rose-san is safe. They're turning the city inside out to find her. Seems that way. We don't even know how long our current hiding place will last. But if you were there, then Rose-san won't have to worry. An old man like me isn't enough. We need the strength of a young person. Enough. I'm useless. I don't have the right to look at Rose-san's face again. I mean, kind of fair, because you did run away. Not to be mean, but I should have stopped her. I should have helped her escape even if it killed me. I failed to do both of those things. When Rose-san told me to get a car started, I was just so happy to be relied upon. When things got tough, you weren't the one she relied on. I was. That's what I thought. I was so happy with myself. Rose trusts you. And look what came of it. Look at what happened. Right now, Rose wants to be saved. She needs your strength. I'd love to save her if I could, but I'm useless. No matter how much a sewer rat like me brags about his personal fighting style, I'll never measure up. A skinny rat like me would just be conceited if he thought he could save Rose-san. Wayne finally staggered to his feet. Then, he finally turned to face Leo. But even so... Okay, Wayne. I want to give up this life of mine for Rose-san. If you wanted me and Caleb to finish each other off, I'd go and do it right now. I don't care what happens to my life, and there's your problem, kinda, bud. You should probably care. Not that you can force that, but... Jeez, okay. Song's getting to... It's the song that's making me feel bad for him. It's definitely the song. I mean, I wanted him to be miserable, but he's a lot more miserable than I wanted him to be, I guess. Calm down. Even if you try to act tough on your own, you won't even get close to Caleb. That's right. That's right, isn't it? A skinny rat like me couldn't even get close to him. Calm down. You're no rat. You've got fangs. Mad Dog Wayne, right? Mad Dog Wayne? Me? That's wrong. Couldn't even become a dog. I'm a rat. You aren't a rat. You're Mad Dog Wayne. I couldn't even become a dog. Okay, I'm sorry, this looped back into funny. I feel so bad for him because he's obviously so sad, and then he says just weird shit like I couldn't become a dog. I... He needs a hug though. Someone give him a hug. Okay, I'm glad it's not just me. 1 second, Wayne was hanging his head, his fists trembling. The next, his knees and hands had splashed down in the puddle. Leo. No. Leo-san. Wayne, no! No, Wayne, no. Wayne, no! I'm so sorry, I keep reacting before I read the line, but I can't not after reading that. Jesus Christ. I literally almost headbutted my desk from just... I physically recoiled from that. Oh my god. Okay. I need to take a deep breath for this one. Please, make me a dog. What does that even mean, Wayne? Wayne. Right now, I'm a rat. That's why. I want to find things and become a dog again. Oh my god. I want to become a real mad dog, Wayne, who can step forward with pride and save Rosan from danger. I want to become a strong fighter. I want to become a good shooter. I want to be as strong as you. And just one more time, I want to offer up my life for Rosan. I'm begging you. Please. Please, make me a man. Wait. Okay, honestly, this is intentional, right? Just, like, he's written so pathetic that it becomes funny, and then it's like, I don't know, it's kind of endearing how pathetic he is at this point. Like, oh, Wayne, there you go, being a weird, edgy loser again. That kind of vibe. I'm sorry. I'm sure there's people out there who really, really like Wayne. And I do too now, just for maybe not the right reasons. And yeah, he's just kinda cringe. Next time you want someone to help you, you're gonna have to make you a dog. Tell me, if you do, tell me how that conversation went. I would love to know. I would love to know. This is so funny. Wayne placed his forehead in the puddle, yelling with all his body and soul. He'd always wanted to become strong. He wanted to live strongly on his own, without relying on anyone else. However, even the strength of his determination hadn't been enough to protect Rose. Yeah, because you're up against, like, literally the biggest gang in the whole city. Like, his problem isn't even that he wants... Well, no, his problem is that he wants to do everything by himself without relying on others. Because, like, rats are social animals, bud. They are. You're not living like a rat. You're living like a housefly. You know, completely unaware of the existence of other creatures of your species. Aside from Rose. Like, I don't know, maybe start by living like an ant. They're social. Look, I like insects a lot, okay, so that's one of my favorite references here. I hope he now realizes that he has to, like, maybe rely on other people, and maybe not try to do everything alone. Because it got to the point where he was like, no, you don't protect Rose. I protect Rose. And he had to like literally fail at protecting someone else to see sense, which I still think is really not great, you know? It's like someone else had to suffer for you to realize that you were being arrogant. Like, my guy, if you really wanted her to be safe, then you would have been happy that other people were out there trying to help her, right? So her safety was never the focus for you, really. You being the hero was. And then you failed. And now maybe, you know, reshuffle your priorities a bit. I hope he learned his lesson, but yeah, I'm not sure yet. That's gotta be, I mean, if he did learn from this, I mean, props to him, because that seems like a really rough lesson to learn. Like, that wouldn't be easy, I don't think. Because he has lived his entire life basically being like, I can't trust anyone else. So I do kind of get where it comes from. Yeah, he really needs to get over, like, the whole lone wolf, mad dog mentality, I think. But hey, for the first time, he had found the limits of personal styles and self-teaching. He abandoned all of his pride and bowed his head to Leo. Then, Leo gently stretched out a hand to Wayne, who now looked shabby and pathetic. I'm calling you an old man again. That hurts, actually. Leo. How are you doing for food? I'll treat you. Don't try and turn me down this time, young man. Sure. Wayne begged Leo not to tell Rose about him. He wants to become his own man and forgive himself before reappearing. Actually, okay. That's positive, I think. Yeah. It's like, I'm gonna deal with my own shit, and then we'll talk. I respect that. As a man, Leo decided to make allowances for this feeling. Starting that day, Leo began to meet with Wayne. He gave Wayne a thorough drilling on martial arts and gun usage, polishing up the raw material that Wayne was. Wayne quietly absorbed all of these fighting techniques. This is cute, I like this. And to think of it, he used to live life assuming that all adults were enemies. Oh, you definitely heard that, huh? That was more motorcycles. I could see it on the thing. The noise gate. It finally failed me. But, Wayne, hey, assuming all adults are enemies is gonna be kind of a rough deal when you become one, you know? Oh, you only heard... Okay. That's a plus. It looked like it was super loud on OBS, but I guess it wasn't. That's good. Anytime an adult tried to teach him something or push him around, he treated it as a humiliation. He erased all of this history from his mind. He entrusted all of his power and potential to Leo, and began to be reborn. Aww. They were unable to gather any info on the movements from their friends. Had no context on what to do next. Hey, what about Stella and Meryl? The reunion with Wayne was the one spot of light in an otherwise hopeless time. The 10th day since the shootout at Rose's apartment approached. Oh, it's just Amanda again. I don't know. I couldn't even imagine where they might be hiding. Rose and the others must be hiding somewhere in the city. Richard is probably with them. The money they took from that safe must have been a large sum. If only we could catch them, we might be able to make up that 100 million. Damn. That 100 million number had been much more troublesome than Caleb had imagined. Thinking back on it, He should have suggested lowering the amount or paying in installments. However, if he had done something like that, he would have been mocked and made to look like a fool. Yeah, that was the whole plan. Like, this whole thing was like a trick, a trap, and he kind of blindly fell for it. That male stubbornness had driven him badly into a corner. Empty shops everywhere. This area has become quite deserted too. Does he really drive around looking at all this and thinking like, "Ah yeah, doing my best for my war buddies, yeah." There's no way, right? The old lady at that tobacco store. She always used to be so nice to me. It's going to get lonely. This whole city is. Hey, Amanda, why are you still doing this then? Masses of my war buddies are starving even today. Yeah, because you're making them starve, you clown. Those people who pretended not to see them and sat around selling stuff better not start whining because of something like this. Each one of them quickly closed up shop and ran away. Yeah, a bunch of them hung themselves, like... It sure is nice to be an average city dweller. He really is just riding around here going like, "Oh yeah, my work's paying off." If any of us had tried that, we would have been shot for desertion. Wow, he's so blind. You see, we had to keep going forward, no matter what kind of fire we were under. There was nowhere to run off to. Even if we lost an arm or had our intestines spilling out, we were trained to hug a hand grenade and blow up along with our enemies. Yeah, that's what some of these people literally are doing. Okay. Oh my god, I wish you hadn't pointed that out, because now I can't unsee it. You're right. The chain looks like a fucking smiley face, you're right. Well, at least it's like one happy thing about seeing him on screen. People who abandon their war buddies and run away are defeatists. Traitors. We'll kill them all and hang them high. They already did the job for you, Caleb. That's the whole point. We can even get some money out of them by pulling out their gold teeth. I cannot believe I used to like you. What happened? The fucking betrayal. I look at his face, then look at his link. Is he from Switzerland? Wait, what? Oh, because wait, huh? Am I missing something? Just one more push and we'll reach 100 million. And yet, damn it. If you do gather 100 million, does that really mean you'll be able to bargain with them? No, they're just gonna up the price again, come on. Yeah. Butler promised me that. That's not what happened at all. Oh, oh, okay, I did not know that. So I guess he is then. I guess he is from Switzerland. Or it's one of those like same brain situations, you know, same brain cell. Just in the worst way. And what if the occupying forces break their promise? When that happens, there will be war. I'll walk into the occupying forces headquarters alone if I have to, and massacre every last one of the bastards who'd con me. Yeah, good luck with that. Why not save us all the trouble and go right now? Then, I might scatter the money we've collected from the rooftop and slice open my chest. Considering that this was Caleb, he might actually do something like that. Amanda waved her fan, gazing at the gray cityscape. Girl, you did this. You did this. If he's dealing with someone who's willing to die, even Captain Butler can't afford to make careless lies. Butler probably understood that Caleb was willing to bet his own life. That sentence did not want to go. They had proposed 100 million as a clearly unobtainable sum. Still, they probably thought that if Caleb really gathered it up, they would no longer be able to balk him. If they had that 100 million, the unreasonable pressure placed by the Caleb family on the city would come to an end. Did you search the houses of the Primavera girls? What's that? Many of the girls are fond of Rose. She might be concealed in the home of one of the girls. Miguel took care of that a long time ago. He checked the list of girls working at Primavera top to bottom, but none of them turned up anything. Amanda, if you start talking now, you are irredeemable trash. Trash it is. Did you check the girls who had already stopped working at the club? What? Maybe one of those girls who quit Primavera before I took control is taking care of her. A girl who saved up money, quit the store, and started her own business, for example. Do you have someone in mind? Claudia Kurosaki. She was a close friend of Rose's, and I believe her apartment is close to Rose's. Why would you, at this point, why would you do this? Why would you do this? Do you really think this is gonna make anything better? God, I hate her.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Here's tonight's dinner. Ta-da! Yet another new menu item. Sweet potato udon.
What are we? Test subjects for your new menu items?
Thank you so much, Claudia.
By this time, Rose had regained the ability to form a faint smile. Of course, that didn't mean her anxiety had vanished. Even though 10 days had passed, they hadn't heard from anyone. If Richard and Cyrus were safe, they should have been able to guess that Claudia was hiding Rose. They should have been able to make some sort of contact by now.
I wonder, has everyone really been caught after all?
I haven't heard any rumor like that. If they had been caught, those people would be going around the city telling us to come out and using them as hostages.
That's right. And since they aren't doing that, it proves that everyone is safe?
He told me not to say this, but I've already made contact with Wayne.
Wayne-kun is safe too. I've got to apologize to him. Because of me, he got hurt.
Wayne is melting into the city, strengthening himself and gathering information. I'm sure we'll be able to find information about Richard's group too.
Wayne-kun. Rose, you weren't alone. Everyone is working together because they decided to walk by our side. And of course, it's the same for me. Why does everyone support me? That's easy. Because your heart is more pure and true than anyone else's.
The world of ladies of the evening had once been filled with malice, envy, and grudges as everyone tried to undermine each other. In the midst of that, she had been the first to show that very, very basic human thing. A true and compassionate heart. That was Dawn. She had proposed to make deals and use money in a way that would help her impoverished countrymen prosper. As the Japanese people had become a minority, she was the only one who spoke up and called for people to help each other and live on. That's right. It'll be a good thing for you to be a little more aware of this. The way you live and the way you think have moved a great many people.
That's right. It isn't just me. It was the same for Stella-san, Meryl-san, and even Amanda-san.
Amanda-san, I guess.
Even though those three were on bad terms, they became so friendly because of your strength, Rose.
They want to live with you, and they want to see the future you'll create. It's okay to realize how many people feel this. Caleb is wrong. You can't tell since you've been stuck here, but the city has been laid waste so badly that it's hard to believe.
Many stores went out of business, and there's hardly anything for sale in the marketplace. Some people have already started moving away and leaving the city.
That's the result of everyone surrendering to Caleb. If everyone had been as strong as you, this much lawlessness probably wouldn't have been allowed.
But because of me, so many people suffered.
That's Caleb's fault, not yours.
That's right. You had nothing to do with that. All I did was wish I could protect my poor countrymen. Even though I only wished for that, this is what happened. What does it mean to protect something? Could it be that it's a job so massive that a person like me shouldn't even hope for it? I don't know what to do.
Rose hung her head, and tears streamed down her face. Claudia, realizing that she had pushed a little too hard, hung her head as well. Leo turned his back to them, got up and stood by the wall, chewing on his unlit cigarette.
Huh? Who could that be at this time?
Oh, one more time they perked up their ears. Sure enough, they heard a knock on the back door downstairs. As Claudia made to go down the stairs, Leo grabbed her shoulder.
Shit.
Should we knock again?
No need to be hasty. Let's take it easy. There's a light on the second floor.
There's definitely someone there. In the alley near the back door were several jostling underlings from the Caleb family. It wasn't only around the back door. There was also a line of jostling people in front of the store, surrounding it.
Hello? Who is it?
As she slowly opened the door, the chain still set. The door was violently ripped open. I can't believe they're going after Claudia. I mean, I can, but she better be okay. Through the crack of the door with its creaking chain, several men glared in at Claudia.
What's this? I've seen you before, haven't I? Good evening. Would you mind opening up? My apologies, but it's a bit too late to pay a visit to a lady's room.
Oh, I've brought a gift that would make a visit to a lady's room worthwhile.
It's very bright and red, just like a rose.
Miguel, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Miguel's knife was thrust through the gap in the door, stopping just before Claudia's nose. Don't you dare. We've even brought champagne. The men behind him all pointed their guns at the door at once. The heavy metal gun barrels were pressed against the door one after another, making a thunking sound.
You wouldn't want to have a toast in a place like this, would you? Won't you open the door?
Claudia had no way to refuse. The instant she timidly removed the chain, Miguel and his goons poured in.
Hey, what are you doing? Don't make a mess. Please don't come inside with your shoes on.
We're just looking for someone.
Would your good friend Rose-chan happen to be staying the night? I don't know what you're talking about. It's the truth.
Well, women can lie with a straight face after all. You can't trust them. Search. They might be hiding somewhere.
Stop it! This is a restaurant. Don't mess everything up.
Hey, the flame's still on at that pot. You wouldn't want there to be a fire. One instant, Miguel was laughing impishly, and the next he was furiously kicking the stock pot that sat on the gas burner.
What are you doing? Please go away. I'll call the cops.
That's a nice collection of alcohol you've got there. At least your taste in drinks isn't bad. Potato shochu. Caleb loves this brand. He slammed the bottle against the gas burner. Its scattered contents burst into a curtain of fire and spread throughout the kitchen. God damn it. Miguel watched in ecstasy, taking more bottles from the alcohol cabinet and throwing them in.
Stop it! You'll catch the building on fire. That's...
Well, they maybe run. I hear you just opened up shop. It'd sure be a shame if everything if it went up in flames. Miguel-san, they weren't anywhere about. What about the second floor? No one. However, there were signs that someone had been there until a short while ago.
Say stuff like that sooner, will you?
Why don't you guys have a little drink too? It looks like this place is just filled with good stuff.
Stop it! Someone!
Several men followed Miguel's lead and started throwing alcohol bottles into the fire. Half-crazed Claudia tried to stop them, but she couldn't stop these men, who were running wild as though this was some sort of prank. As this happened, Miguel and some others pushed their way up the stairs. True enough. There's the stench of someone other than that woman, isn't there? They'd probably been eating here until a moment ago. There were chopsticks in a bowl, but only enough for one person. However, the burner in the kitchen had been on. Something seemed off about the idea of someone leaving the fire and going all the way up to the second floor to eat. They slammed the window open. Below, just in front of the store, several of Miguel's underlings looked up. No one snuck out, right? That's right, Miguel-san. Miguel's eyes went to the closet. So, is it hide and seek? He slammed the sliding door of the closet open. Of course, there was a futon inside. When he violently grabbed the futon and threw it out, enough bowls and chopsticks for two people fell out and clattered to the floor. Come on, you're supposed to bring your bowls back to the kitchen when you're done with them. The store was surrounded on the outside by his underlings, and there was no chance of escape. In which case, they must be hiding somewhere around here. But they aren't in the closet, are they? Where, oh where, are you hiding? Miguel turned his back to the closet with an impish smile, then suddenly leapt up like a panther. He climbed up to the top shelf of the closet and stuck his knife into the ceiling boards as though piercing the heavens. He could clearly tell from the resistance on his knife that it had pierced the ceiling boards and pierced something lurking on the other side.
Do you realize how old that is? Hiding above the closet ceiling? Are you trying to be a sneak thief or something? Leo-kun. Quiet. Don't make a sound. Hey, that didn't feel like a woman's flesh. Could that mean Leo? He dug the knife in even further and felt something heavy crumple about the ceiling. In his cramped position, Leo had his arms planted above his head as he braced himself, sweating profusely. Does it hurt? It does, doesn't it? It's just so moving that you still haven't given up. I've got no interest in humiliating proud warriors like you. Miguel took his hand off the knife, which was still sticking into the ceiling, and slowly walked out of the closet. So I'll use this to assist you at Harakiri and to end the pain right now. Die. The gun decorated to match Miguel's outrageous outfit spat fire, blasting through the ceiling planks. Something heavy tumbled out of the ceiling and scattered across the floor. What? Potatoes. Huh? A potato with Miguel's knife sticking out of it rolled to a stop at his feet. The thing in the ceiling had been a bag filled with potatoes. Well, thank goodness for that. Ah! What the? With a battle cry, the kitchen floor leapt into the air, and the heavy bucket of pickled vegetables that sat on top of it went flying. Leo and Rose had been hiding in the storage area under the kitchen floor of the first floor. However, the men searching the kitchen had moved the heavy bucket aside, putting it right on top of the storage door Leo and Rose had been hiding under. Phew. We almost got burned to death with the pickles. The scattered alcohol had made the kitchen catch fire, turning it into a fiery hell. Claudia! Run away, quickly! They're here! They're here, damn it! Miguel-san, they're down here! You set fire to everything, damn it. Looks like you've had enough alcohol for the night. You're still thirsty? Have a taste of my punch. Hey. Oh, here we go. Too slow. I'm out of practice. Okay, I'll take it. As they dashed outside the store, Leo's fists sent Miguel's underlings flying, one after another. Pushed back, they made to pull out their guns, but they hesitated. They must have been ordered not to kill Rose if at all possible. That hesitation was a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Rose, time to let yourself be carried again. Okay. Claudia, what are you doing? Hurry! I'll be there in a second. It's going to burn. It's going to burn. Claudia! Leo-san, go! Take Rose and go! Claudia, no! Leo saw Miguel push Claudia aside and dash towards them. With Rose on his back, he reluctantly left Claudia and raced into the night's darkness. However, the two of them were lit up by the bright headlights of one car after another. Several cars filled with pursuers slid in, blocking off alleys one after another. Leo ran behind the car Miguel had arrived in and set Rose down with a thud.
They're coming in one group after another. They move well. So these are the proud troops back from the front lines. Their pursuers were better equipped in numbers, experience, and armaments. These elites had been baptized in frontline artillery fire and lived. Took perfect positions, readying drum-fed machine guns and shotguns one after another. Even Rose, who didn't know much about gunfights, could tell. This was too much, even for Leo. They were no match.
Leo-kun, it's impossible. You'll be killed. Thank you so much for everything. Give myself up and buy you time, so use that chance to escape. I don't want anyone else to be hurt. I can't bear to have anyone die because of me.
Keep your head back.
Leo, you're friends with Caleb, aren't you? If you surrender, I'll let you go. Or you could even leave Rose there and run away on your own.
Oh, is it past your bedtime already? Enough talking, you're safe.
I'd expect nothing less from the Leo Shishigami that Caleb adores. Well then, this isn't a man who will surrender if you try anything less. Damn.
My high score. As Leo moved his hand to ready a new magazine, Rose placed hers on top of it, and she gave a small shake of the head.
Really am grateful for everything. I was so glad that everyone adored me as the madam. You know, I'm not a woman capable of anything that would make it worth everyone risking their lives to protect me. I'm not Madame Rose. I'm just Rose Haibara, a useless lady of the evening who can't even attract customers well. There's nothing to be gained from keeping me alive.
He's just not listening. Yeah, I think that's a good answer, if anything. It's like, nah, you're talking nonsense. I'm not paying attention to that. Wait, no, don't give me sad music. What the fuck? What? It was the first time Rose had heard it. A sound of anguish coming from Leo.
Leo-kun! Your shoulder!
A black-red stain dripped, gushed across Leo's jacket from his shoulder. It's just a scratch. You're as hot-blooded as I am, you get 1 liter to the nosebleed. He was joking. His expression twisted slightly as he bit down with the pain. Jesus, I miss Clinton so much. My high score.
Just stop. Just stop. Leo-kun. No, everyone from Primavera. Why are you risking your lives for me? Is it because of how I carelessly ignore the ugly truth? It is, isn't it? Isn't it? I can't do anything. I can't change anything. Everything I do is just talk. No matter what sort of fake dreams I talk about, nothing will actually happen. So don't die. Don't risk your lives. Don't throw away your lives for someone who's all talk like me. Rose, you're starting to sound like Wayne. It isn't just talk. Rose, your words are... You've given crowds of people who lost the country and nowhere to go a path to follow. As long as a path exists, people will stand up. They'll start walking. You've shown people a path this dark era. Do you realize how helpless it feels to be surrounded by darkness without a path to follow? Do you realize how reassuring it feels to have a light shine down the path through that darkness? Trust that heart of yours in your chest. Walk the path shown to you by the whispering of your heart with confidence. Your footsteps will show people the way. I could bet on that. I could bet my life. For the person who's lighting the path through the darkness. Of course, no one wants to die. Not when they're lost and confused in the dark. But we can let ourselves die. For walking down that path, we can let ourselves trip forward and die. This time, I'll fight until the end for something I believe in. Rose, I'm glad I met you. Leo-kun, you aren't powerless at all. Your heart is more beautiful and noble than anyone else's, and truer, too. Listen to the whispers of your heart, show the way, and lead. Oh, Leo, are you about done with your chit-chat? Yeah, I'm done. Leo-kun. Throw away your gun, okay? Otherwise, Caleb will be drinking himself to sleep tonight. Come on now. Do you really need to wait for me to answer that? No, I don't. You're a warrior who knows defeat. A person who's known defeat even once will never be defeated again. Because they know how noble it is to fight until your life is burned completely away. The barrels of Leo's and Miguel's guns drifted toward each other. Oh God. In that instant, a screech of tires and a terrible crash broke the silence. It was Wayne. Wayne had plunged his car in front of them. Leo, I'll cover you, so get Rose-san out of here. Wayne-kun. Run, Rose. Run. You aren't allowed to stop running. Your running footsteps will make a path for the people, for us to follow. Oh, it's Bad Dog Wayne. I'm looking all over for you. Wanting to make you a dead dog, Wayne. Rose-san, run! Don't hold anything back and don't look back. Rose! Their eyes tied shut, Rose dashed into the shadows, running towards the other end of the alley. Their pursuers, caught off guard, frantically pointed their weapons, but Leo's and Wayne's guns began to spew fire at once. God, here we go again.
Oh, that was almost no time.
Rose is getting away.
After her.
After her.
It's no use. Damn Crossfire. They're insane. They've thrown away their lives. Leo. There's a way to put your life on the line, even when it comes to shooting guns. You can cover yourself and howl like a coward, or you can remain exposed, throwing away your life in order to gain something. Rose ran. She dashed through the narrow alley. She ran with all she had at full speed, on and on, without thinking or doing anything else. However, her tears streamed behind her and sparkled slightly in the moonlight. Please, everyone, don't die. Don't die! I'll run on my own feet. So please, everyone, don't die. I won't let Rosan die. Rosan is our light. Let's go, Wayne. Let's go, war buddy. We've made it through the same fires of war, which means we're already war buddies. Yeah. Let's go, war buddy. Show me the results of my training. No, wait. What? No! Oh my god, don't keep the fight going through the credits, please. No. No! Let me rest. I don't want to lose. We're doing the credits while this is happening. I cannot believe this. This is wild. Wait, I'm supposed to click during these. That caught me off guard so bad. I've never actually had to continue playing a game through the credits. Wow. Nier Automata, you're right, it's an exception. Oh my god. Ooh, is there a music box? Ooh. That was so tense, and that ended way too early for me. I was not ready to go yet. Where's the rest of it? It's me. And you. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I expected. I can't tell if that's better or worse than what I had. I don't know if I went up or down in rank. I have no idea. Oh, it's so funny, because I've been paying so much attention to this, and it's literally meaningless. Oh, that's hilarious. Black Eagle 1974. There's a little diamond on top, so that must mean it's good, right? This mean it's good, right? Honestly, I was so tense during all of that. I full-upped it really hard, but that's okay. because again, meaningless and that was okay. My brain's still like firing on all synapses. That was so much fun, actually. Like, I complained, but it was so much fun. Wait, we're not done yet? The ranking is wild. I might look it up at some point, but it's more fun to be baffled by it, honestly. Okay. Let's just keep going, yeah. At that moment, they heard a knock on the door. When Madame Jeanne responded, the door opened, and an elderly man appeared. However, his well-chosen, expensive suit, as well as his majestic posture, made it clear that this man possessed a great, dignified presence. Pardon me. I have an urgent matter to discuss with the madam. What could that be? Well, if you've come, it must be something troublesome. The man whispered something into the madam's ear. Madame Jeanne remained silent for a moment, then shrugged and rose from her chair. Julie, I had planned on having a relaxing meal with you after this, but some unpleasant business has come up. My apologies, but I'll have to call it a day. Oh, sure, I mean, thank you very much for today. I've only just begun the story I wanted to tell. I'll call for you again the next time my schedule is free. Please come to listen to an old woman's story once more. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for today. Unfortunately, though, it will be a full 4 months before my schedule opens up again. For an old person, time is more precious than anything. It's possible my life will end before I finish telling my story. When Madame Jeanne went out into the corridor, a line of black-suited men welcomed her with a deep bow. The madam left with them behind her. As I watched her dignified back, I remembered that she was the Dawn who represented the Japanese criminal underworld. I wonder what happened to Rose, Leo, and Wayne after that. However, as a person of the future, I knew just one result of the story. That was that Wayne Uedera did not die. That man, who had served as a leading member since Primavera's creation, was still the consigliere to the Japanese mafia called Primavera. Consigliere is an advisor, a supreme advisor who can directly offer his opinion to the highest ranked person in the organization, the madam. The man who'd crawled up from being a sewer rat, went on to call himself a mad dog, and eventually became the number 2 person in Japan's largest mafia. Ashibara-sama, the car is ready for you. This way, please. Okay. The elderly man guiding me had been allowed to enter the madam's personal room, which was supposed to be her sanctuary. Could it be Mr. Uedera, the consigliere? However, with that majestic back of his, I could hardly just ask what his name is, so I tried muttering to myself. She's appealing to his edgy boy instincts. Amazing. Mad Dog Wayne's a pretty cool nickname, isn't it? The elderly man with the dignified look of a master swordsman suddenly stumbled and started coughing. Looks like that nickname came out of the folly of youth after all. Giggling, Julie entered the luxury car as the elderly man saw her off. Okay, that's adorable. At her company, her bosses were all lined up waiting for her, barraging her with questions about what she had heard. It felt like she was a pop idol who had been involved in some scandal. However, Julie decided to lie She lied and said that she wasn't supposed to tell anyone anything until the whole story was finished. It was probably the right thing to do. After all, she still didn't understand a thing about what Madame Jeanne was trying to tell her. I, Julie Hayashibara, am now pounding away at my tablet PC, writing a summary of what happened today. A short while ago, I was contacted by Advisor Uedera, who told me that Madame's schedule should open up around the end of December. It was an incredible coincidence. The end of Madame Jeanne's year should be filled with meetings with all sorts of famous people. At worst, she might have had to cancel a meeting with some big politician to make room for me. But maybe that's just right. The gap until then might be the perfect span of time for me to understand the outrageous story she told. I plan to quietly sort things out inside my head as I wait to hear the rest from the madam at the year's end. 2012 AD, August 11th. Julie Hayashibara of the Hong Kong Daily News, Tokyo branch. Sharpshooter 2. No, I'll take it. I'll take it. I don't know what any of this means, but I'm still proud of myself. Is that it? No? No? Wait, when is this? Okay. In front of the City 23 occupying forces headquarters, many cases of money were being carried out of a line of money transport trucks, surrounded by black cars. It's like Lord of the Rings, it just doesn't end. One by one, these were carried into the conference room inside the headquarters, where they began to fill a corner of the room. Whoa. Butler's subordinates were opening them up and counting each and every stack of bills. Certainly are cautious. Do I look like a man who would try to fool you? This is a check that we haven't been fooled. And also to check that you haven't been fooled. Oh. You dare to say that, do you? What do you think, gentlemen? Even greed should be handled in moderation. At any rate, Mr. Caleb has shown us a splendid performance. Why don't we welcome him as our new partner? I can't believe that actually worked. At worst, it can be an all-out war with the Caleb family. I have no intention of fighting a war. Just find me a skilled assassin. Now that the Caleb family's crossed the line, they're just like a puffed up balloon. Just poke the one point called Caleb and... Ooh. What? Hey, Rose. It seems like terrible luck is something we share. You tried and failed to kill me, and I tried and failed to kill you.
Caleb's son. Until now, I misunderstood what it meant to protect people. I thought it meant hugging the weak and using your back to protect them from the misfortune that falls on them. That's wrong. That's not what it means to truly protect someone.
That's right. Protecting your friends on the battlefield doesn't mean stopping bullets with your back. You protect them by getting your hands dirty and killing the enemies that are trying to kill your friends.
I've been turning my back from the resolve needed to dirty one's hands in order to protect.
That's why you can't protect anyone.
Yes. Without the determination to get your own hands dirty, can't protect a single person. That's why, this time, I'll fight to protect my fellow countrymen. I will stop you, even if it means staining these hands with your blood.
Perfect. You're sounding more and more like my dead wife.
Caleb, what? Caleb, son. Primavera is making a proclamation of war against the Caleb family.
Very well. We'll accept that challenge.
If you won't surrender, I will use these hands and this gun to shoot you to death.
Primavera versus the Caleb family. The fight to determine City 23's ruler begins. They gave Leo 2 guns? Then a lone girl who lost her memory ignites a feud in Chinatown. Meet new characters as the story of Primavera accelerates. As the story of Days of Guns and a lone girl called Rose who rises up to save the countrymen of something. Coming soon. In 2 weeks. Wait, it's still not done? Oh my god, it really is Lord of the Rings. I do love the new characters. They look great. I'm going to go end my war. This time, I don't plan to run alive. Please, our homeland. Our homeland only exists within your ideas. Season 2 was released, I know. Okay. Oh my god. That was a lot. That was a lot. Oh my god. Oh! New screen. New menu screen. Nice, I like it. New music as well. Wow, okay. Yeah. Okay, hold. So we can kind of assume that Rose especially is fine. Wayne lives, hey. Leo's probably fine because we saw him with 2 guns. I don't know how they get out alive, or anyone else for that matter. I still don't know where Meryl and Stella are. Or Richard and Cyrus. Is Claudia okay? Because she was not in that little cut of all the characters, I don't think. Is her store okay? Did she manage to put out the fire? I don't know. And then someone tries to assassinate Caleb, and apparently it was Rose? But also, the Americans are after them. And Major as well, potentially. I doubt that Claudia has insurance, let's be real. Oh my god. There was... I thought that we were like done, and then a lot happened all of a sudden, which is kind of, I think that was mostly preview, right? That has to be, right? So those are mainly things we're going to see happening, aside from the, Julie Sean bit. God. That was so tense and dramatic, I'm like, reeling. Wow. He did it again. Like, I don't know, that was great. Oh. My tracking broke. I also thought that she would tell Julie everything in one sitting, but considering the length of all this, I kinda get why that would be impossible. And I think it's safe to assume that the second sitting is not going to cover everything either. It's going to be 4 sittings eventually. And I bet that there's going to be a 6-month gap between the second sitting and the third. Because I'm pretty sure that lines up with like the release dates. Because those are lined up with Comiket, which is like an anime manga convention in Japan. You have a winter edition and the summer edition, I believe, and that's when Rikishi usually releases his games. That was also the case for Imineko. So, I think that was just like a cute little reference to that. And that's also the reason why there's, you know, space between, like an exact amount of space between time between sittings. Yeah, it's definitely like a hint as to when this new season comes out in real life. I don't know how he managed to write all this as quick as he did back then. Nowadays he takes longer, but that's also because, I assume at least, because he's working on a new Silent Hill game. So if you like Silent Hill, you're in for a treat. Because this man, like, he's good at writing, but like horror thriller stuff specifically, fucking great at that, so. It's definitely gonna be better than Elden Ring, sorry, Elden Ring fans. I mean, okay, 2 wildly different genres, I don't think you can even compare it really. And I do like Elden Ring's, like, writing, sort of like, I like the whole setup where it's like, oh, if you pick up an item, you might get some background lore, and you have to piece it together, and I actually watch a ton of lore videos for Elden Ring. I've never played Elden Ring, I don't plan to play it. I know a lot about the lore, because I just think it's really fun watching other people speculate. I suspect that will also be the case in Silent Hill if the old Silent Hill games are anything to go by. It's weak. I can kind of imagine that because, like, it gets dished out so, like, you have to put so much effort in to get the story yourself, right? Because you have to read all the item descriptions, you have to do, like, a shit ton of looking around, exploring, quests, reading, but it's not actually, like, told directly to you or really integrated into the gameplay even. And by that I mean, like, if you just play the game normally, you're not gonna get all the information, like, it's not sort of woven in there. You have to go looking for it yourself, so yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, because, like, for some people, puzzling together all that lore is a lot of fun. I personally wouldn't really bother with that, which is why I watch other people do it, you know? And even then, what I enjoy most about it is the background stuff, right? The whole... I still don't get what the whole... Like, you play the... What's it called again? What are you called again in that game? You know, one of those Dark Souls things, but like a different name this time around, right? You play one of the something. I don't know, like the guy. The... Tarnished. What does that mean? What is the effect of that? I don't fucking know. I've watched how many hours of lore videos? I still could not tell you. Because the game never properly explains. But I like the... Oh, in this cave, there's a freaky little guy named Steve, and he did a bad thing once, and he's been punished because you can tell from this one sword that you can find in this other... Like, I think that's fun. I think that's fun. But if I had to puzzle all that out for myself while playing the game, I would simply not. Because I get massive information overload during games like that, and my brain just shuts down because it cannot handle that. Like, I can't even play Divinity Original Sin 2 or whatever that's called It's too much information just from the UI and the skills alone. Yeah. I think that's a valid way of just playing it and experiencing the game, honestly. Like, I love the idea of Divinity 2, but if I ever want to actually play that, I need someone to hold my hand through it. And just be like, okay, use that skill set. Like, okay, we're gonna go here now. We're gonna do this quest now. And yeah, I'll put in my own answers and stuff, but like, it's so much. I cannot handle all of that. And I like the idea of it being like a visual novel and kind of like D&D, right? But if you give me a city to go through to, and I can talk to everyone, and almost everyone has like a quest or something relevant to a quest, I will just get complete choice paralysis, just completely. My brain cannot handle all that. If you give me too many options, I will choose simply nothing. I will turn off your game. Because I have autism, and I cannot filter or prioritize that kind of information. So it's rough, because then you try to do the main quest, right? And then you can't, because it's like you're under level and shit. At least I tried and I couldn't. It's been a while. Trails in the Sky, Cold Steel? I've never heard of that in my life, but I probably would, yeah. Would probably hate that. I mean, this is part of the reason why I play so many indie games, right? Because they're a little simpler. And that's not a bad thing. Ah, okay. That sounds like something I would enjoy watching YouTube videos about. Every character, NPC, and main has their own story? Yeah, I would have a terrible time playing that. I really, really would. I can imagine that sounds like a great time if you can manage that type of gameplay. My brain will simply not allow it, sadly. I'm hoping when Baldur's Gate comes out properly, if some of my friends are playing and I play with them, I could just sort of, you know, be in the background and be like, yep, you guys decide where we go, I'll just follow along. Because if I play that by myself, I know I won't get through it. I won't. How? Damn, that's a lot of hours. I mean, I get why it would take you that much. Well, you can spend that much time at it then. It is coming out in August, I know. I'm hoping that some friends are gonna play it. I don't know who yet. If you are my friend and are playing it, let me know. It is, yeah, and that's kind of my worry in a way, because it's made by the same people. I worry that I'm gonna get information overload, but because it's like the new hotness, and I know people have it on a wish list, I'm hoping that if some of them group up together and have space for a fourth, then I could just, you know, have them railroad me, basically. And then I'll be fine. It's when I play alone or with like a person who wants to let me make the decisions that I just struggle with that kind of stuff. So fingers crossed. The combat looked, you know, fine. There's less chance of massive explosions, I believe, which, Divinity always ended in everything blowing up for me because I liked being the elementalist with the oil thing, right? Everything exploded all the time. It was like Claudia's kitchen. It was so much fun. And then, but then we got off the prison island, right? And then it's like, you can go basically anywhere. Here's a massive city. It'll be 3 hours until you finish talking to every NPC. Have fun. I did not have a great time. Poor Joy, though, loved all of that. I never got further than that, really. I never got further. Oh well. Okay. I'm just now processing everything that happened during Rose Gun Stays. Yeah, that was dense. That was a lot. I really enjoy the story. I also thought that they were gonna pull Leo dies, or is badly wounded, or they're gonna imply that he died, and you thought that. Oh yeah, that makes sense because it's like you pass on the knowledge and then you die, right? Yeah. Thankfully, not the case, unless. I mean, technically, we have not seen him alive after, but he's probably fine. He's probably fine because there are, you know, 3 more seasons of this. John didn't mention him at all. That's true. Well, I mean, she did. She did in the story, right? Like he's in there, so I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's fine. He better be fine. Otherwise, Caleb will cry himself to sleep, apparently. Which, yeah, my theory continues. Man has a big crush. Just saying. Amanda's a beard. Not a very good one. It's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, she's just basically completely ditched everyone, which is, I can't fault her for that, really, because it's, smart. Like, if she tried to run or fix the place, she'd probably fail miserably. Yeah, she's not really getting the chance to do a good job. And she realizes that trying would make it worse, so hey, time to give up. At the same time, she sold out Claudia and Rose and Leo, so she can go die. I hope Meryl chokes her in the end. Like she promised she would. Next season. We can only hope. I'm a pacifist, by the way. I really am. I swear. I swear. Okay. I need to go throw open a window because it's very warm here. And I don't want to roast to death. I don't think it is pacifism if you wish violence on others indirectly, no. But I do think that you can't really be you can't be nice to everyone, right? Sometimes you just gotta fight back. Or hope that the people who do violence are met with violence. So I'm a pacifist, but also a realist. Yeah. On that note, since we have now finished Season 1, that means I will be taking next week off for Rose Gun Days. Still doing a Wednesday stream, but we're skipping one Thursday, and then the Thursday after that, which is, let me check right now, the 27th of July. I almost said the wrong month. That is when we will continue with Season 2, which I'm very hyped for, actually. It's gonna be very, very good. Yeah, I cannot wait to see these new characters, actually. And so, sudden music change. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, I expect great things for Season 2. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. It hit you together, getting old now. I wonder if next season is gonna be their downfall, or if they're gonna stick around longer. I suspect downfall, I'll be honest. I really feel like it's ramping up to go in that direction. But, well, we won't know until we play it. And play it we will in 2 weeks. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me for today. If they were more relatable, that would be good in a way. Yep, no, I agree. I do kind of... I kind of like that they've become these hate sings in a way. It's just like, they're just so dumb about it. Like, genuinely, it's silly. Like, they're stupidly evil at this point. But I kind of still, like, it's not relatable, but I still understand where it comes from. Like, they're basically, like, traumatized and completely, like, they have blinders on or purely focused on this one thing that they told themselves is going to make it better because of this one promise that Caleb made to his war buddies, right? And he's like, okay, if I don't do this, then nothing else matters. Like, he's just invested so much at this point that anything else can't reach him anymore because it shakes up his worldview, and it might make him abandon his promise, right? It's tunnel vision, yeah. And you kind of see the potential for, oh, things could have maybe gone different. Like, maybe if someone talked to him sooner, or if things went slightly different, he could have been more reasonable. And that was always something I really enjoy about Umineko, is like, things are so close to not being this terrible. Like, it's such a small... There's such a thin line between things going well and things going absolutely miserable, and that's kind of what Caleb's mental state especially seems like to me right now. And I think that's genuinely really interesting. Because he has gone off the deep end, but it was just I don't know. I really see, like, the potential for there having been, maybe in some alternate timeline, something small happens and he does not go off the deep end. Yet where he does more good than bad, where he teams up with Rose, that could have happened. Because their ideals are ultimately very similar. Their way of going about it totally different. And it makes for such, I don't know, it makes for such a... I say I don't know, but I know exactly what I'm gonna say. It makes for a really good contrast, I think. Especially because Rose is really unsure about whether her stance is, like, the right one. And meanwhile, Caleb is convinced his way is the right one, when he's extremely wrong. Meanwhile, Rose is extremely right but doubts herself. And I do think Rose can stand to, like in the outro, you know, she kind of toughened up a bit. I was like, okay, sometimes you have to do unpleasant things to do the right thing, I guess, in a way. Like, you can't just sit back and do nothing if you want things to go well. Though maybe, like, that has the potential to go extremely wrong and end up lead to her making the wrong decisions in the end. Like, she could go down the Caleb route at this point. If she becomes blinded by, I don't know, maybe like it's like revenge or wanting to do the right thing, and then landing on the end justifies the means, she could become the next Caleb right now. That's fucking interesting. I love this. I cannot wait to see what happens in the next season. Oh, same. I wanted to, you know, keep going the way she has been and try to help as many people as possible. Maybe be slightly less insecure, naive-ish about it. I mean, I'm an optimist myself, so I get, like, her whole stance. I get it. I don't know how realistic it is. I think it's better to try to maintain your optimism, ultimately. But this is a really brutal situation, universe. Does it help you ultimately to be an optimist? Maybe not. But I do hope she stays more on the positive good side and doesn't go off the deep end like Caleb did. But maybe that's why. I guess we'll see. That's gonna be maybe the contrast, or maybe not. Maybe we're gonna get a dark Rose arc. Who knows? That would make me really sad, but I guess we'll see. It would still be interesting, you're right. And hey, maybe she thinks Leo is dead or something and just goes fuck you, Caleb, I want you dead now. Honestly, valid, fair. But, yeah, I guess we'll see. Yeah. I could not handle it if the rest of the game was like that. I don't think it will be. I have faith. I'm sure it'll be okay. Or maybe that's why Jean takes over and there's no Rose in, the present times. Who knows? We'll find out. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the series so far, and we're gonna continue in 2 weeks. Yep. That's when we'll start season 2 and meet all these cool new characters and find out what happened to Leo and Rose and Wayne and everybody else. I can't wait, but I will wait because it'll be nice of a break for a week. Rest my voice a bit. I hope so too. I hope we see a lot of them early on. That would be nice. But yeah, until we find all that out, thank you so much for watching, for being here, for being in the chat, for watching this on the VOD or the YouTubes, the tubes of you. Yeah, I really appreciate it, and we will be back very soon with more Rose Guns Days. Until then, have a good day, night, week, month, year, life. Thank you again so much for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.